With the mental health thing, it's in my family, and my uncles and my dad. There was no mental health thing back then. You know what I mean? It was you're a man, shut up, hide it, protect the women, move on. That's it. Your feelings didn't matter. And then they passed it on to their sons and so on and so forth, and it sticks with you. And I know when my dad finally realized that, not that something was off, because there's nothing wrong with us if we have those kind of feelings. There's nothing wrong, by the way. There's no such thing as normal. Let me put that out there. There's no such thing as normal. We make our own normal. My normal's not the same as the next man. Trust me. It's vice versa. But when my dad saw me going down that dark path, I'm his son, and he was like, let's talk. And they brought me to therapists, and they just wanted to know not just why, but more like how can we help? And they accepted me for who I am and what I am, and it helped me accept who I was. And that's why I'm so open about talking about mental health, because it was open in my house. Because my dad lost a bunch of his friends from suicide. He didn't want to see his son go through that. I lost a lot of friends through suicide. And I don't want no one else dying no more. You know what I mean? Because when you get in that dark place, in that dark circle, as I call it, it's like a circle in the drain. You know what I mean? I call it. You just stop thinking that anyone cares about you. And you start thinking that you're worthless and no one would care if you died tomorrow. And that's not true. We put that in our own heads to justify our pain in our own minds. Our pain is already justified because we're human and we're feeling it. But we want everyone else to feel it and this and that. There's no reason for that. There's no reason not to talk anymore. There's no reason not to break the habits of the past. Like we all say every generation says they're progressive. You know what I mean? My generation thought they were progressive, and now this generation thinks they're progressive. Okay, then let's be progressive about it. Why can't men talk about what they're going through? Why can't men talk about their feelings? You know what I mean? You can sit there and call me a clown or I'm soft or this and that. Fine, but I'll be alive and soft. I'll be with my friends and my family, but I'll be that soft, but I'll be with them. And I'll still see my mother. You know what I mean? Everyone knows me, I'm a mama's boy. But I'll still see my mother. I'll still see my dad. I can go wrestle in New York for AEW and they'll be there. You know what I mean? Now imagine if the one time I was very close to suicide, if I did it. None of this would happen. I wouldn't be here to talk to you today. And one of the hardest men I've met in my life, like a real straight OG, then things I can't say because, I'm not allowed to under the law. He talked to me about it, and he saved my life. And he made me realize that people care. You know what I mean? You may think people don't, but one person always does. They always do. It's always one person. And when you hurt yourself, it hurts that one person, but then it hurts that one person's friend, that one person's girlfriend or boyfriend, and so on and so forth. And then it becomes like a ripple effect. Like you throw a little rock in a little pebble in a pond. So people do care, and you do affect people. And you're never really alone. No, you're not alone, because I didn't think, I'm special because I go through this and I talk about that. But when I see people come up to me at Fan Fest or stop me and they tell me how they're going through their stuff, that makes me feel good. Because it also reminds me I'm not alone. Because it's an everyday struggle. For the past 2 weeks I've been going through it. Recently. You know what I mean? Where I get in my own head and I beat myself up. And I'm sitting there in a house that I'm paying for, which I should be happy about. But I'm sitting there beating myself up. Because it's a never-ending struggle. And I don't know, I like the struggle now. Because, you hear sayings and stuff, and Without struggle, there is no progress, and never to suffer is to never be blessed, Edgar Allan Poe said. And I believe that. I believe when you suffer and you get past it, you're a better person. And now that I'm in a position in AEW where I can talk to people about this, I'm happy I progressed because now I can help. And I just don't want to hear no more about people taking their lives because they didn't talk. Or I don't want to see a mother crying because her son's gone. Or a wife crying because her husband's gone. Or a son crying because their father's gone. I just don't want to see it no more. I just don't want that to happen to anybody. I don't even have to know you. I just don't want to see it happen. Because, man, we're only here for a cup of coffee, man. And, God, when things hit you and you realize how short we're here for, you just want to live a happy life. And so does that mean medication? Fine. Go ahead, knock yourself out. That's nothing wrong with that. I'm on medication. I take Zoloft. I'm good with that. I'm not ashamed of that. You make fun of me for that? You make fun of me for that? That's on you, dog. God bless you. But I'm good. And just you got to do things that's right for you. And I know they're like, oh, you can say this, you can say that. And I get it, all these buzzwords or whatever you want to say. But I truly inside feel this. And I hope, as I'm sweating, I hope everyone understands this. You are never alone. You're not. I'm telling you the God honest truth, you're never alone. There's always one person. You may not have your family around anymore. Maybe they passed away, this and that. Maybe, I remember there was a guy at a bar, perfect example. It was an older guy that used to come to a bar I used to bounce at all the time. And, he was an older guy, about 45. And didn't have his family, didn't have his wife and kids, just came to the bar every night and drank himself stupid. But he was a likable guy. And when I found out he committed suicide and the other bartenders found out, God, that just ruined us. And we didn't even know the guy. We just knew him from there. And that ruined us for like a week. All of us were just like, couldn't believe it. And we didn't even know him that well. Now imagine the people who knew him well. There's always someone out there that you are going to affect when you decide to take your own life. And I don't know. I just don't want people doing it no more. I don't want normal's another thing. I just get that word out of your head. There's no such thing as normal. That word's a lie. My normal is not yours. You know what I mean? Do you think getting beat up for a living is normal? To me it is. Maybe not to you. Again, that's my normal. We make our own. So, I don't know, I can blab on forever, but that's the two things I want people to truly understand. You're never alone. There's always one. And that's all you need. That's all you need is one. And the second thing, too, is we make our own normal. We make it ourselves. No one else does. So, that's it.